All right, this is part two. Sorry about that. My phone had died, so we are in the next day. It's the light outside, as you can tell in the first video, is dark. Well, this is what I did overnight. It took me a few hours, but I kind of figured everything out. Ran into a couple snags, but nothing I couldn't handle. I did put a couple unions on each one of these just for maintenance purposes, or I got to take something apart, or basically unions are really good for that. I would prefer to do, I'm probably going to do two more, and that's just so I can take this whole piece out if ever need to be replaced, and that's the same thing with this side too. Did pretty simple setup, just straight down and into the sump, no twists, no turns, no nothing that's going to get me in trouble later on. Basically, I think it was about 7-inch cut to a union, and that was just to drop this one down a little bit further, because when you do turn these, you can see there would be a problem as far as if they're on the same level, they would never turn over all the way, and you kind of want that with the ball valve. Once again, I am going to probably replace one of those with a gate valve and probably move this over to my return. As you can see, there is no return. I'm still waiting on that equipment. And once all that stuff comes in, then we'll go ahead and finish this video. But let me just kind of show you. I did not use any 90s in this act. I used all 45s, which I thought was a little bit better. As far as efficiency and getting water down into the sump. But essentially ran this off of this union to this valve to a 45, and then this 45 down into another 45, and then there is another piece here, and then there's a bushing. This is a 1-inch bushing into 3/4 inch PVC. And that's because these bulkheads are 1 inch and I'm doing all 3/4, as I said in the last video. So basically just mirrored this one, and this one worked out perfect. In the other video, I did show you that my emergency was going into my skimmer box. Well, the skimmer, it would become a problem because this guy is just kind of hanging out here. And when I do my return, I'm gonna vinyl tube into a union, and then from my union is going to go up into hard plumbing. When I do that, I didn't want this guy to be in the way, so I found a better place for him. It's a little bit more efficient as far as if it does emergency. It's going to be dropping into barely any water, so there's not going to be a lot of splash up, and it'll be kind of loud, so you'll be able to hear everything. And I kind of did that for the reason that it's going to be loud, and this thing's usually really quiet. But yeah, that's basically what I did overnight. Didn't take me too long, probably about 20 minutes after the video died, I finished up everything. Let's take a front view. There is nothing in the tank, obviously, but that's that. And then this is the whole sump area. That is the reef octopus put together. It is such a cool little skimmer. I know I have another buddy of mine that actually has one, but he has the 152S, which he told me I should probably go that route, but I'm going to try something a little bit different, because his is rated up to 150 gallons, but I don't think I need that much. But plus I mean, still got a whole break-in period, and it's a reef octopus, some of the best in the business, so can't go wrong either way I go with it. Oh, and these guys, told y'all how I was gonna fix the whole problem with basically going into a 1-inch, 1.5 inch tubing into a 3/4. This is a street 90, so this will fit very snug into the bulkhead, and that'll essentially look like, well, if this was the back of the tank, it would just kind of go about this far in, And then it's a real snug fit from there. Which is, I want it to be kind of sleek because this is going to be pushed up against a wall, kind of. And how to fix that was just a couple bushings. I did a 1.5 into a 3/4, but all they had left was the threaded, and I'm not running thread on my PVC. I will be gluing everything down, and then probably the third update maybe. And then from there I did another bushing, but it was a 3/4 into 3/4, but it is a 3/4 thread into a 3/4 slip. So that way everything will fit nice, and it looks kind of weird though put together. That's kind of everything together. And I bought all my PVC and everything at Lowe's Hardware. Pretty cool little nifty store. They had almost everything I needed. I literally had to get out of there before I had to spend too much money. I'd end up buying all the plumbing that I needed, but I'd rather not do that because I don't want to pay for too much and then have to go back and return it. So I'm just going to get a little bit here, a little bit there, and then put everything together as I get it. And on the other side, to fix my end, I found that same bushing with the thread in. I'm running lock line. So I also bought a lock line adapter, 3/4 inch. Should basically just turn right in there, and then my lock line will run right off of that. That'll go right there. But yeah, that is everything complete, everything kind of put together. That's my aquarium, 75 gallon. So if anybody has any questions or comments or anything like that, just comment below, and when I see it, I'll get back to you. Thank you. Thank you, YouTube.